Hey guys, it's a little crampy in here, but I wanted to pop by um, because a friend of mine mentioned, and I had noticed, and then I got busy, distracted the other day with the last video I posted. So I figured I'd just do a whole new video. I'm gonna read that last card that got cut off, and then I was just gonna do like a mini channel for feminine, divine feminine, feminine energies. Um, it's the time. I like it how the other day, or actually, okay, I'm gonna read the card. We're gonna start there. So I know it was Layla. Oh, look at, she's right there waiting. I hope you can see that okay. Better, there you go. Alabaster tablet of Layla. So I guess when I was reading it the other day, it got cut off. Um, so I'll begin again. The card number is 41, which breaks down to a 5. Um, 5 is all about like prominent change, significant, like sometimes, chaotic, challenging. Um, I found myself correcting like a word that somebody utilized in conversation I was having the other day, and even just hearing myself say that out loud, I'm sorry. It's, like, you know, in regards to some things, there are no right or wrong answers. It's a matter of what resonates with you and embracing the differences, because it's essential. Like when we're moving into that state, I feel an allowance to actually truly be, like there's so many things we have in common and be able to relate to each other, but ultimately we're all going to be bringing something slightly different to the table, different perspective, um insight into something like it. And collectively, when we begin to put all these pieces together, we formulate one beautiful, magnificent masterpiece, so to speak. Yeah. Um, but yeah, like I think I mentioned in the last video too, there was something that had come through how feminine should be leading the way right now, like really embracing our feminine energies, and it, regardless if you're male or female, because we all carry, both energies. And it's pretty fantastic when you actually start to observe yourself and notice, you know, where you're shifting between your energies. Um, I asked a friend the other day, I was like, would you perceive me as more in a masculine state? And he just laughed at me and he's like, no, B, you're very feminine. It's like, but it keeps coming up for me, to embrace more of my feminine. And it's not so much that it's been a challenge, but more so than actually like observing myself and stepping, aside, like not judging, but actually really looking at how I may be presenting to other people and just being mindful, because ultimately, like, everything is a reflection. And so of our internal selves, our whole, when we really get into it and we're aligned, what's happening externally is a reflection of ourselves. And so in the projection phase of like what we've been more inclined to do, I find, throughout our history in so many ways, is the negative stuff, things that we struggle maybe to admit that, yes, I acted that way, or I feel this way, and even being able to like really say what we need, you know, without coming into, those fears of rejection or not belonging, or coming like being a burden in any way, that kind of stuff. Um, whew, yeah, it's it's those projection details that we can really embrace opportunity for facing our personal shadows, right? And I think, like with feminine coming in and like we should be leading the way more, that includes our masculine, but um really tapping into your feminine energies and mindfully coming from a softer space with, you know just a totally different touch, totally different something that feminine brings to human existence. um I love that quote in The Crow: "Mother is the name for God on the lips and in the hearts of all children." I just had deja vu a little bit. I think I quoted that recently. Maybe not. I don't know. I've been having deja vus again lately and it feels good. So there's so many different takes on deja vu. And ultimately, I think, like there, even within yourself, like when you find something that does resonate, keep in mind there's always change is like it's a permanent thing. Change is one of our only permanent things, and we're in constant motion, yet eternally now. And that therein we can really start to tap into our power and, being open, but also being sure of those details that we've integrated through the process and actually have been able to translate or transcend into wisdom. Yeah, all the T words: transcendence, transcendental, transformation, teleportation. Okay, I'm gonna start reaching. Tablet, alabaster tablet of Layla. Good save. 41. Um, yes. Here we go. Oh, that's so cool that she's first. Or not first, but comes before the Sovereign Queen Maeve. Beautiful card. Okay, but I'll stay focused. So you are remembering at a soul level. You're tapping into greater awareness, and an understanding of your highest life purpose shall become even more clear to you. This may evoke unsettling change within you, but that change is necessary for. Whoa, it was 444. I love when I'm like provoked to look up. It's so cool with time and stuff, like the way they've been communicating lately. Very cool. It was, oh, maybe, yeah, 944. Look like 444 because of the font I got in there. So, your highest life purpose shall become even more clear to you. This may evoke unsettling change within you, but that change is necessary for a new way to manifest. You are protected and guided at all times, especially when you feel uncertain about your course. You are truly loved. I like the way they put that, especially when you feel uncertain about your course. Like as we are leveling up and expanding, ascending, growing, like we're going to feel it, and it's going to be uncomfortable. And it's really cool actually, because I've just kind of been finding myself in a lot of rather awkward moments like within myself lately, and just like this feeling that like I'm able to shake it, but there's it just keeps coming back. And I like the way this lady put it the other day, like that just means you're doing good. You're like, because you're in these challenging times when you're like doing our shadow work and stuff like that, really focusing on our individual growth, and taking that mindfully to the collective level. I've been really focusing on like attaching the lines and extending this healing energy that I'm finding, like, but projecting it out. Yeah, there's a good place to project the good healing energies. Um, so yeah, like the more like, as we're ascending, it's going to be uncomfortable, and just know that that's perfectly good. It's a good thing. I was going to say normal, but I'm really trying to opt out of certain words that have been overused and whatnot. So the angel Layla heralds from Talmudic scriptures, unlike any other. Oh, Talmudic scriptures. That apparently is the first language. We were just discussing this the other day. That's cool. Um, Ultimately, it was sound, right? And vibration. And then along came the fuckery of linguistics. No poetry. The evolution of language. It's such a cool, like, fascinating topic. A person could spend lifetimes really delving into it. Um, Unlike any other angel, she is specifically described as a feminine being. Layla is a reminder that there is a place only the feminine can fill. If we attempt to live our lives skewed toward the masculine, we will miss out. There is great value in masculine tendencies toward exploration, adventure, progress, and development. However, the feminine tendencies toward compassion, acceptance, kindness, and mercy are a balancing necessity. For humanity to survive, these dual wisdoms need to find balance and integrate into a mature expression in every human heart. The appearance of Layla in a reading suggests the feminine must lead at this time. Allow the way to be shown rather than directing a path based on current perspective. Get into our heart, back into it, but allow the heart to lead, and trust. We need to trust ourselves and to believe in ourselves and to faithfully move forward. There is no more going back unless we're healing and transmuting for the lines. There's no need, because we're right here right now, and we've done pretty damn good job. Can we do better? Absolutely. We're not done yet. If we were done, wouldn't be sharing this little moment. I'm having deja vu like hardcore now. My Okay. So Layla is a guardian angel watching over all transitions, including the transition of the soul into the embryo during conception and the guiding of the soul out of the body and into the realms of light when a physical life draws to a close. Alabaster was lauded by the ancient Egyptians as a guardian stone, which leads the soul toward the light during times of transition. The alabaster tablet of Layla indicates that you are navigating a significant transition. It may be that your outer life is going through change, or it may be that inner changes are happening within your soul, or both. You may not know how to traverse the shifting inner and outer landscapes, but the oracle advises you that this great angel is guiding you faithfully and effectively. In the Talmud, Layla teaches wisdom to all souls before they are born. She then strikes the upper lip of the infant at the moment of birth, creating the indentation at the upper lip and causing the child to forget everything they know. Life is then the journey of reconnection and rediscovery. The alabaster tablet is a crystalline scripture. Its vibration encourages the soul to seek the light and the spiritual path, sparking remembrance of inner truth. It helps us remember the sacred purpose for which we were born. If you feel out of your depth or in need of more information or understanding, this oracle reassures you that it is okay to not know everything right now. The answers you need shall become clear at the right time. All is within. Layla is maternal, protective, and devoted to the human collective. Her name can translate as night. She is able to traverse our own spiritual nights. Whether they be the periods before, after, or during our lives when we are going through a dark night of the soul, Layla is there, reminding us that spirit will always show a way, and within us is the wisdom to find it. Crystals are embodied light. The alabaster in particular emanates the white light frequencies. It is highly reputed as a drawing stone, absorbing negative energies and attracting the light of spirit into your heart and life. The alabaster tablet is created from a sheet of alabaster that energetically sheaths the soul, deflecting interference through its invisible protective shield. This oracle encourages you to perform a spiritual cleansing that feels right for you, sealing your work with a protective shield of white light. You can accomplish this by calling upon the alabaster tablet of Layla. Combine the sacred earth medicine of alabaster and the celestial angelic protection of Layla using the healing process below. As you relax and become increasingly aware of your breath, flowing in and out, allow yourself to be present in this moment. Let your awareness shift from the daily world to the sacred inner world. You can see, sense, visualize, or feel that sacred inner world as you read or listen to the description below. There is a point of light within your heart. As you notice that light, it rapidly expands and you feel a sense of love and recognition. You know without knowing how you know that this light is a friend from long, long ago. The light becomes a beautiful feminine angel. Her light shines like a gentle sun, and you feel warmed in her presence. She casts her hand, and a path appears. It is your path, the best way for you to proceed. Notice how you feel about this path. Can you accept it? Embrace it? Trust it? As you take a step, you realize she is with you. Your heart then remembers she has always been with you and shall always be with you. Settle into this connection with her for as long as you wish, knowing that even when you return to your daily activities, your remembrance of her being with you during this exercise will have shifted something deeply for you. It will allow you to trust and to feel more loved and connected to that which is beautiful and true. To complete this healing process, ground yourself with some gentle movement and plenty of hydration. Reading that this time, it reminded me of a really powerful dream I had it was a spring break during high school. I think I was in grade 11. Why do I feel like I was 14? Because I would have had my license by then. For some reason, like 14, 15 sounds out for me. Anyways, Um, oh, no, that was a different dream. Okay. But this one in particular, so there was this medicine woman. Um, she, this native woman, I refer to her as a medicine woman. She was a guide in this dream, and it was taking place like between where my home was and this bridge to this small town. Um, and everything, it was like a water world, okay? Um, everything was water, and like rather than like the highway being there or whatever, because I'm in a I'm in a water world. Um, there was two white streamers that were marking this path that she was pulling me along, and I was laying on this raft looking around and like up to the sky, and she's pulling me along, and as there come we come up to this one part where there's a tree on my right hand side, and one of the white streamers gets caught up in this tree somehow. And I said to her, I'm like, oh, like I can't leave it up there or whatever. What should I do? And she's like, that's okay. Go get it. And so I climbed up the tree and I picked out the white streamer and I set it back down in the water. But as I was doing this, a bee stung me on my eye. And I came down and I was like, oh, the bee stung my eye, and it was like starting to swell shut. And she said, it's okay. All you need is water. And instead of dipping her finger in the water all around us, she dipped it in this single teardrop like coming out of my eye and rubbed it on the sting, and then continued to pull me back along the path. Um, where I got up to in the dream, so as she's pulling me along on the rafters, and then we ended up in this library of books in the water world, and there was another native lady sitting in there in a rocking chair, and she just looked very familiar to me, and she just looked at me very knowing. And I was all excited by all the books and being in the library, and then I said I'll be back because I wanted to catch up with my raft because she had kept going, my other guide, and that's pretty much where I woke up. But regardless, it wasn't until about like maybe 3 months later. Oh, that's why spring break came into play, because it was during that time. um I was doing a lot of different dream work and stuff, and so like my dreams were just really powerful, like lots of interesting journeys and messages. But it was during that time that I discovered what the message was in, like I was able to translate it, which meant, like all you need is water. And it hit me, it was like the only way to truly heal anything is through the way we see it. And that just comes down to like the whole process of reframing and transcending, um, via our perception. Like we change the slightest details and it casts like a whole different lighting. It's like yoga, right? Can do the same pose every day, but every day it's gonna be different because we're in motion. We're blessed with life force, and connected to source and this magnificent energy, and we're awakening, and it's just beautiful. And everything, like, regardless of how many times we do it, that's where our mastery comes into play. I think I'm having an epiphany about deja vu a little bit. I don't have the words for it yet. And I do have to get going. So I actually wanted to do a card for, I'm going to dedicate this one. I want to, um, this is going to be for Jimmy and Joe, you guys, and anybody else, who it's ultimately for whoever's here right now. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to you two in particular. I hope things are well in both your worlds right now and always, of course. So for 25, Theta of Venus. Hope you can see that okay. This one. 25 is a 7. I gotta do a whole post, I think, just about 7s in general. It's such a great number. But so, attune yourself to higher consciousness by choosing to access the purest frequencies of love within. Acknowledge lower frequencies such as judgment, fear, doubt, or shame when they arise within or around you, but do not give them a foothold in your heart. You are ready for higher understanding, to see things in a new and more positive light. Allow your inner knowing to guide you on a unique, beautiful, and highly spiritual life path. Venus is our morning and evening star, the stellar goddess and guardian of transitional awareness and higher consciousness of the heart. She is the way shower of light and fifth dimensional reality, also known as unity consciousness. Her spiritual guardianship of humanity will be complete when our mass consciousness is based on love, light, and divine feminine wisdom. When you connect with Venusian energy, it is an opportunity for increased love, magnetism, and spiritual charisma. A chance to shine your light and manifest your soul purpose with increased grace, synchronicity, and sacred artistry. Her appearance in a reading signifies a time of creative and spiritual awakening. It is a reminder of the power of the heart and our ability to rise again after a time of karmic heaviness. This is so perfect right now. The souls of Venus, her sons and daughters upon this earth, are not spiritually bound by the mass consciousness of the human collective. They naturally vibrate a more loving frequency. They can be genuinely astonished by the cruelty, meanness, and displays of dominance that typify the dark side of human nature. Yet they have chosen to temporarily incarnate and bind their souls temporarily to the laws of nature. As they grow alongside their beloved earthly brothers and sisters, they share the higher resonance of their heart light, opening up the way for human evolution. The spiritual sons and daughters of Venus belong here. Yet at an inner level, they know that they are not from here. This oracle reminds you that you are not bound by the ways of this world and that part of your higher purpose is to help heal, soften, and awaken humanity. Even if you find it hard to feel at home on earth, perhaps sensing you are from the stars, Venus or otherwise. Know you are meant to be here, that you belong in a very special way. There is a home here for you with the Earth Mother. You are loved and needed and will attract whatever support you require to fulfill your destiny. Venus souls have a particular talent for creating beauty, working with light and spiritual energy, and calling to them whatever they want and need. You have your own healing journey, and part of that journey is your spiritual training in the ways of the earth at this time. This will teach you what is needed to heal yourself and others. You don't need to be afraid of the ways of the world. You are part of a spiritual team that is here to help transform mass consciousness. Theta is the narrow range between the 7 hertz and the 8 hertz, which we access during deeper meditations and light sleep, including the dream state. The brain enters this state during the in-between times, such as when we are falling asleep or waking up from deep sleep. These are moments in which our capacity to create our consciousness is heightened. At these times, we become aware of deep-seated programming and are able to heal by reframing it. Perfect. During this state, you are conscious, yet your body is deeply relaxed. You see everyday realities through the inner spiritual eye and come to understand yourself and your life with spiritual insight. Put simply, you may see things differently when you are in the theta state, and your life may make more sense to you. In a reading, the appearance of this oracle is a special reassurance from Spirit that everything is unfolding within the protective grace of divine love, even if sometimes it appears not to be so. It also indicates that you have the power to heal yourself and change your life for the better. Aziz! I can know it. Oh, talk about timing. Aziz! I love it. No, I will shut the light off. Instead, you're going to yell at me. I wouldn't yell at Aziz. I was just, yeah, very cool. So, the healing process. Find a place where you can relax, such as your bed or lounge, without being disturbed or distracted. Place your hand on your heart and say the following prayer. I call upon the spiritual guidance which loves me unconditionally, and the higher guiding angels of Venus and Theta, that I may experience through grace, mercy, and compassion that which is most beneficial to my well-being for the greater spiritual good of all sentient beings. It is now time to go through a relaxation process. You can do this in whatever way works for you, but you may like to use visualization and your breath to imagine you are softly and gently letting your mind settle